All right, man, we back. Let's do this basketball review. Steve Nash thing caught me off guard this morning, so I dropped that video first as soon as I heard the news. But let's talk about what happened with Milwaukee and the Heat, and also what happened with the Rockets and the OKC Thunder last night. Don't forget, check out our NBA Talk playlist for more videos like this. Appreciate the love, support. Trying to get situated. But start off with Milwaukee and the Heat last night. The Bucks. To be honest, the Bucks just don't have a good team. All right, we can start off with Giannis. It's a prime example of, not mastering fundamental basketball. Mike Budenholzer is becoming a trend now. He came up short in Atlanta. Now he's coming up short in Milwaukee. There's some adjustments he can make. And I just don't think basketball coaches and players have the IQ that they used to have. All right, we can start off with Mike Budenholzer. If Giannis having problems pounding the ball in the paint and pounding the ball on the hardwood and getting to the paint and scoring, how about just post them up in the high post, post them up on the block? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that LeBron James refused to do. When they played Dallas, in Miami, and he just refused to post up on the block. If you post up on the block, you play through Giannis through the post. You know what I'm saying? Then you don't have to worry about him running through a wall and getting foul trouble. All he got to do is catch. It's nobody on Miami but Bam that can probably hold him. He gonna get a superstar call. All he gotta do is catch, drop step, hook over the right shoulder, turn and gun, fade away, or drop step toward the baseline and finish at the rim. You know what I'm saying? Now, does he have the ability to do that? It's sad if this guy's 6'11" and he can't post up. You could put him at the mid post. You know what I'm saying? You can clear out and let him work out the mid post. You know what I'm saying? You can get Middleton. Cutting through the back door. Giannis working through the mid post. He's a good passer. You know what I'm saying? You can get Eric Bledsoe and Middleton coming off those double screens. It's a lot of different things that Budenholzer can do offensively, but he's limited. He's a limited coach. And then you look at Giannis, you've seen the deficiencies. Giannis out there working on threes. Stupid motherfucker. All you got to do is master a mid-range jumper and a floater. Giannis don't need a three-point shot. And this is what's wrong with basketball. Somebody needs to put on some Bernard King for Giannis. And that's how you can kill the game. Or just some Carmelo Anthony. Bernard King was the original Carmelo Anthony. That's where he got his game from. But most of his game from. All Giannis got to do is, when they built that wall, all you got to do is get a little jump shot. Tony Parker, turn on his film. Parker ain't go from, finisher to three-pointer. Parker said, okay, they packing the paint. Let me hit it with the floater. Oh, they packing the paint. Bam. They meet me at the free throw line. Oh, give me the mid-range. That's all you got to do. And this just lets you know that a dude that's going to probably be the MVP back-to-back and how sorry the NBA is. He hasn't mastered the basics of being a basketball player. He hasn't mastered the post game. He hasn't mastered the mid-range game. And he hasn't mastered the modern day floater. And that's the issue right now with them. Top two issues. Now you go on, his supporting cast sucks. He ain't getting nothing from nobody else. Brook Lopez, Eric Bledsoe, Chris Middleton, inconsistent, not shooting well. He was 0 for 3 from three-pointer last night. Eric Bledsoe, even if he healthy, he ain't shit. Bad situation. If I'm Giannis, get me up out of here. This team ain't that good at all. If Giannis going and driving to the paint and they building a wall, why can't he just kick it out and somebody hit the shot? Or why can't nobody just cut behind the wall and get an easy bucket? You know why? Because the NBA offenses of the day, the modern offenses suck. They suck. The modern offenses suck. Ain't no backdoor movement. Ain't no motion. Everybody just stand and ISO and watch Giannis pound and drop his shoulder. He got the most charges in NBA this season, and watch him pound the paint and get to the rim. When he can't get to the rim, he limited. He can't hit you with a little elbow jumper. Bam. He can't hit you with a little floater. Bam. He can't drive and kick and they can make a shot, or drive and somebody cut. Mike Budenholzer suck as a coach. Like 88% of coaches in the NBA suck. Don't know how to coach basketball. Don't know how to make adjustments. They made no adjustments game two. None. They deserve to lose that game. If you want to go down to the last cause Jimmy Butler didn't even ball out this game. And that's Jimmy Butler. That's why Jimmy Butler can't be in my top 10. Jimmy Butler is inconsistent. Some days Jimmy Butler give it to you offensively. Other days he don't. He always bring it defensively. I'm not going to short him there. But Jimmy Butler offensively is an inconsistent motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I like Jimmy Butler, but he can't. He's just inconsistent. And I'm not talking about the playoffs all the time. One game offensively, he give you some buckets. Next game, he won't. He inconsistent. That's the difference between him being top 10 and him looking outside that window. I can't stand the rain. That's the difference. Jimmy can't give it to you every night offensively. But lucky enough for Miami, you got Hero, you got Duncan, you got Bam, you got Goran Dragic, who's been hella consistent since Kendrick Nunn went to the bench. You got Nunn giving it to you off the bench. You know, and that's the difference. And, you know, when you talk about what it boiled down to Miami, they making shots. They making shots. And they got the best, one of the best coaches in the league. He figured out a game plan, him and Pat Riley, I know Pat Riley, how to beat them. They looked at what Toronto did last year defensively. They did it. Now they looking offensively. You know what? They a good defensive team. They long. But, you know, if we play this type of way, we're going to get the shots we want. And they making the shots right now they getting. And then you can talk about the end of the game. The Middleton foul, you know, you don't call that, but I'm not mad at it. They called it. It was, you know, it really wasn't no foul. They called it. He made the 3 free throws. Credit to Middleton. Come back down the other way. They give it back to him. You know, Giannis fouls Jimmy Butler at the end of the game where he didn't even have to touch him. Once again, Giannis unraveling like a Kiss rapper. And he didn't have to touch him. But, you know, Jimmy Butler, you know, looked a little bit shaky at that free throw line. You know, but he made it. You know what I'm saying? It bounced in. And I had no issue for it because both of the bad calls washed each other out. It balanced themselves out. Chris Middleton should have never got that call. He made 3 free throws. Jimmy Butler shouldn't have got that call. Wash. You know, Milwaukee played from behind a large amount of that game today, last night. And they deserve to lose. Milwaukee is a terrible team. They're one of the worst teams I've seen as the number 1 seed the last couple years. They just a really good regular season team because a lot of teams can't really hone in on Giannis. And Eric Bledsoe is, you know, useless. If he useless even when he's healthy. I just think what Giannis do take away from his game. Eric Bledsoe is better with the ball in his hands. And then Chris Middleton being off ball, you know, with Chris Middleton being off the ball, you know, he suck. You know what I'm saying? He not worth no max contract. You know, he can't even hit his shots. He more of a open shooter, a knockdown shooter, and he a good defender, good mid range. But they gotta do some things to get him in the rhythm, come off some back screens, come off some curls, get him at the elbow. They kind of got to get him moving. He shouldn't be watching Giannis pound the ball in the paint and then kick it out and then he shoot it. No, they got to get him in the rhythm. You know, they got to, you know, put him and Giannis in the 2-man game and the pick and roll and, you know, let Chris Middleton come off the roll, feed Giannis or, you know, hit the mid-range jumper. So, to be honest, that's on them. They offensively challenged. And I think they could be a better team, but Budenholzer offensively, he don't know how to make the adjustments like 88% of the NBA coaches out there. Now, let's get to the OKC Thunder game. Houston, nobody won this game. Oklahoma City Thunder just lost it more than the Houston Rockets. Last night, James Harden was atrocious. People just love James Harden. And I'm not mad at him. James Harden seemed like a very, very likable guy. He can score, you know, other than the Blue Lives Matter little thing he wore. He seemed like he okay, you know what I'm saying? As far as to the fans and to the media, he don't talk about political stuff. He don't have no social media. So really, there's no disdain or dislike. He speaks to the media in the whole 9 and stuff of that nature, man. So there's really no disdain for him. And they talking about, well, he redeemed himself by making a block on an undrafted rookie. You want a fucking cookie? You made a block on an undrafted rookie, and that saved your legacy? How does it save your legacy and you playing a team that you should have beaten 5 games? Real talk, y'all was about to sweep them in the first 2 games. James Harden choked last night. James Harden can never be the greatest scorer. He can never be in the top 10 greatest scorers of all time overall because he can't cut the fucking cheese and when it counts. When it comes to a game 7, he just started to suck. He can't deal with the pressure. You got some guys like Kobe and Michael that embrace the pressure. You got guys like, Scottie Pippen who get migraines and James Harden who don't perform well when it boiled down to him. You got big shot makers and big shot takers and guys that show up in big moments. And then you got guys that get small and shrivel like James Harden. Russell Westbrook didn't look good last night. He turned the ball over. He missed shots at the bucket. It didn't really matter. Houston is not equipped to win playoff games. Same thing with D'Antoni and Phoenix. They were not equipped to win playoff games. The style in which they play with, it sucks. Once again, it's one guy pounding the ball, driving and kicking. That's basic basketball. In a playoff situation, the Lakers are going to hone in on that and they're going to shut that shit down. No guy over 6'6", Anthony Davis. If he don't average 30 and 15 at least this season, don't talk to me about him being one of the greatest big men of all time, because he should dominate this series. Every game, 30 and 15 minimum, Anthony Davis should have. He should live in the paint. They can't guard him. They double him. He can shoot over him. It just don't make no sense. But continuing on last night, Robert Covington really saved their ass. He came up big. Eric Gordon came up big with some shots. The surrounding cast really came up big for the Houston Rockets last night. They two big players, Westbrook and Harden, they just not cut to win shit. If they your two best players, you ain't gonna win nothing with them. Westbrook getting to the bucket, missing shots. Harden airball and shit. Houston just like, wow, like they just. If it wasn't for them dudes that was House and Covington and them dudes around them, they would have lost that game last night. And speaking of Oklahoma City Thunder, they played tight for a team that was good in crunch time all year because there was no expectation. As soon as there was expectations to win something, they fell apart last night. Chris Paul, he didn't really play good last night. He had a triple-double, but that's a game where he stepped up and should have scored a lot. Danilo Gallinari, where he was at last night. Steven Adams missed a few layups. I think Schroeder or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander missed a few layups. Them motherfuckers was missing easy buckets time and time again. You know what I'm saying? Dort was the only one, making his shots. But other than that, there was a few shots there. Nobody seized the moment but Dort. Chris Paul didn't go out there with the killer looking to score. You had sorry ass James Harden on you. You couldn't get free on the last play of the game. Steven Adams, another dude, man. You look at the modern day big man. They man, come on, man. They couldn't survive in the 90s and 80s and the 70s. You put PJ Tucker on Kevin McHale and watch Kevin McHale easily get 30 and 10. He probably can get more than that. McHale blocking. You put Bernard King in this situation. You put a nigga like Covington or PJ Tucker on him. Bernard King would have averaged 60 in this series. He would have averaged a 60 ball in this series. Easy, with no three-pointers needed. You got these big dudes like Steven Adams who fucking set the tallest guy on the court and he can't even position himself to get inside the paint and get an easy bucket. He's settling for off-balance hook shots and he missing layups at the rim. Today's big man is sorry than a motherfucker. Today's big man is garbage. You put PJ Tucker out there on Shaq and see what happened. You put him on Hakeem, Patrick. You put him on Alonzo Mourning, young Antonio McDonald. Man, they gonna have fun with them boys. Chris Webber. RV, even the old Arvinas Sabonis, young Arvinas Sabonis was dope. These watching the NBA just hurt my soul, man. And a lot of you dudes who didn't watch it in the 90s and get a chance to go back and watch it in the 80s, man, you got to, for dudes that the old heads, you got to appreciate Bernard King, McHale even more. Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson would dominate this era, bro. These big men suck. Ain't no way a guy like Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, every day seeing PJ Tuckers, Draymond Greens as centers, and who else? Jared Allen, little ass at center, man. Vujovic, Nikola Jokic. They should be dominating those guys. They should be dominating. Even the Clint Capella, he ain't that good defense. Dominating. The only guy that's pretty good is Rudy Gobert defensively. Like that. They should be dominating this league, bro. You see DeAndre Ayton, no deep, dominate. Barbecue chicken in my Shaq voice. But last night, Oklahoma City just crack more under pressure than Houston did. That's it. Last play of the game, I'm pretty sure that's not what Billy Donovan drew up, but Chris Paul, he missing shots down the stretch. One of them, Gillensley or Schroeder, he missing layups. Steven Adams getting pushed off the paint, missing baby hook shots. Like, last night was just terrible basketball. The refs, they was okay to the end, but terrible basketball. All right. OKC lost that game more than Houston won it. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Don't forget to check out the NBA Talk playlist for more videos like this. Want to make a donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. Shout out to the brother Ed for donating as well. Best way to donate is to share the video. But don't forget, you can check out my Detroit channel, Motor City Sports Talk, right here on YouTube. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about the games today and tonight. We'll be covering the games as well. I think the Clippers playing tonight. And I don't know who else. Somebody else playing tonight. But let me know what you guys think one time for the one time we know.